She is a four-time Emmy-nominated actress, best known for playing Jill Taylor on the sitcom Home Improvement. Throughout the years, Patricia Richardson has certainly put smiles on the faces of millions, and it was all while she was facing challenges that would eventually take the life of her beloved father. Lawrence Richardson was a former Navy fighter and test pilot. Lawrence suffered from something called progressive supranuclear palsy, or PSP. It's a rare and devastating disease. And Patricia joins us this afternoon to tell us more about her father's story, along with Ty Spargo, who is the National Organization for Rare Disorders, or NORD. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us this afternoon. Patricia, I got
Thank
so
you for
much.
having us, Jimmy.
I want to ask you so much. Can you tell me real quick more about your dad? Because you guys were really close.
Very close. Dad was my support system through my whole life. I mean, when I was in high school and first started acting, he was like, "You should do this." So yeah, it was a devastating loss. I had the same experience that probably everybody has when they have a rare disease. You know, you don't know what's going on for years, or it's misdiagnosed, and then when it is diagnosed, the doctors say something like, "Well, your father has a disease that we don't know we don't know where it starts or how it starts, and we have no treatment, we have no cure, and it's fatal."
Oh
and you're just left with this feeling of helplessness. You know, you don't know, and then you watch them disintegrate, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So
this went on. He was sick for many, many years, and we didn't even know what was, you know, we didn't know what was happening.
So how did that really change things with your family?
Well, you know, my mother was sick at the same time, and he was taking care of her, and so it was very confusing. My sisters, none of us lived where they lived, so when I was doing Home Improvement, I was mostly flying there to take care of my mother to Virginia.
Wow.
And then through Strong Medicine, I was flying to take care of my mother until she died. And then during West Wing, literally my father died during an episode of West Wing. And so we were all sort of taking care of them in tandem. You know, one of us would go, then another sister would go. We really had to do what they call the professionalization of caregiving. And eventually I got to a group called Cure PSP, which is a patient support group, and which I can't emphasize enough to everyone, you really need to get to. And when I got involved with Cure PSP, I came to know the National Organization of Rare Disorders, which is an umbrella group that helps organizations like Cure PSP, and also the millions of people that don't even have a patient support group to support their disease because it's so rare. And that's how I got to know them, and this is what Ty is here to talk about.
Yeah. Well, Patricia, let me just say
Day.
right off the bat here, then, I know this is difficult sharing the story. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it very, very much. Ty, she mentioned you, and I understand that 1 in 10 people have a rare disease. What qualifies as a rare disease?
In the U.S., a rare disease is one with less than 200,000 cases. But together there are nearly 7,000 of these diseases, which is why there's about 30 million Americans, or about 1 in 10 people, who is living with one.
So how does NORD help? Is there anything that we can do to help?
Well, NORD helps by providing programs of education, advocacy, patient assistance programs, a small research program. And one of the big things we do is to bring everyone together around Rare Disease Day to show that individuals are not alone, that even though your experience may be unique, that there are other people going through very similar things, and that although you may be alone, together we are strong. And Rare Disease Day is that opportunity to help raise that awareness.
Ty, thank you so much. Patricia, she just mentioned that so many people are going through similar things, but it's a unique instance for any individual. If you could boil it all down into some kind of words of encouragement, what would you tell them?
I would say get support. Find someone else who's going through what you're going through. And though your disease may be rare, your experience is not rare. 30 million people, that's 1 in 10 people, are going through what you're going through in terms of a disease that is inexplicable and probably incurable. What is it, 95% of these cases have no?
Only about 300 diseases currently have an FDA-approved treatment.
Wow.
Yeah. So so your experience is not rare. And we say, you know, alone we are rare, but together we're strong. And that means that you're not so lonely. And if you go to this rarediseaseday.us, you can find out what you can do to find other people who are going through what you're going through and get information about your disease.
Ty, thank you. Patricia, thank you so much. Incredible information that can do nothing but help. Now, if you'd like to read more about Patricia's story or more information on what Patricia and Ty had to say today, all you have to do is go to DelmarvaLife.com and click on the show tab. Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, where you're from and where you end up can sometimes be worlds apart. Everything that happens in between is your journey. We're going to meet 3 women with 3 amazing stories and learn how their journeys led them to one place. Well, this woman led thousands of people on a journey to freedom. Harriet Tubman's story is one we never want to forget. How that story is coming to life right here on Delmarva. And a little bit later on, she is back. This time as Nashville Universe's shooting star of the year, 14-year-old Lewis native Sarah Garrison takes the Delmarva Life stage. But first, we've been talking about how health and you can help others. Dr. Oz tells us how we can help someone if they're having a stroke.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Here's something you need to know. You don't have to be a doctor to save a life. If you think someone's having a stroke, I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, ask them to smile. That's right, just smile. It might not seem like the right time, but it's going to test some very important muscles. Number 2, ask them to raise their arms. Show them and see if they can mimic your actions. And number 3, have them repeat a simple sentence, something like, I like red roses. If they can't do any of these 3 tasks, get them to a stroke center immediately.